Okay, without being really specific about other programs, I can sort of tell you how VideoText is different than any other program. Number one, we are going to focus on concepts. We are not going to teach you just how to do something. We're going to teach you why. Number two, we're going to make sure the students are actively engaged in the process. So when you look around at other programs, you've got to say, are my students really involved in the process? Are they really walking along with the instruction? Now there's one other very important aspect. This is unique to VideoText. Module A, that we already talked about. Module A is a transition module. That's what I call it. Or you might call it algebra readiness. I'd like to call it pre-algebra, but that'll get confused with what most people think of as pre-algebra. This is a module which says, you know your arithmetic, now I have to take you through the process of changing the way you think so that you're ready to think algebraically. So that is unique. I don't really think students who have just taken have good arithmetic grades are automatically ready to be put into an algebra class. They've got to change the way they think. We have to transition them so that they understand why they're doing what they're doing. And that's when they start asking the why questions. They feel comfortable knowing that somebody's going to answer them. So that's the basic difference in this program and any other program in the hall. Besides the fact that you have some flexibility in terms of timing, the continuity as it goes through, how every lesson is connected to the next. Somebody asked me once about one of the modules being a lot of lessons. Every module has about 30 lessons in it. Well, one of the things about my program in VideoText is that I don't teach chapters. If you remember when we were in school, books had chapters in them. Now chapters are very artificial, but they're very convenient ways to break material up into 8 or 9 lessons and give a chapter test. I can't do that. I teach units. What does the word unit mean? It all goes together. So I'm not going to stop until I've done everything that has to do with that topic. But that might mean 25 or 30 lessons. That's a lot to study for. So sometimes I tell parents, when your student gets to the end of a module, they've covered a lot of material. How do you study for a unit test in 25 lessons? Well, you don't. Here's what I would suggest. Go to the end of the unit, take Form A of the test. Take it cold. Don't even study for it. Just say, okay, I've done all the lessons, ready to take this test. Now, I don't know whether I got it all right. There are some things I couldn't put down, things I couldn't remember, things I might have missed. That's okay. Because in the instructor's guide, it not only will give you the answer for every problem and how you worked it, but it'll tell you for every problem what lesson that problem came from. So when you're preparing to take a big unit test, the way you prepare is to take the unit test, Form A. See what you missed. Now create your own little study guide. When we were in school, we used to ask the teacher, well, what do I have to study? And the teacher's answer was always the same. Study it all. Yeah, that doesn't help. I need to know what I need to study. The way to know what you need to study is to take Form A of the test without studying, see what you got right, see what you got wrong, and make yourself a study guide for the things you missed. Now go back and look at that. Fix it. And I want to hear them say, every once in a while you'll hear them saying, oh, yeah, I remember that now. Put it all together. Then take Form B of the test as your real test. But remember, you're still going to grade every point. Every problem is 10 points. You're going to count minus 10. They're going to do their analysis. They're going to figure out why they missed the problem. You're still going to give partial credit. But the studying for it is much more efficient if you take Form A, cold, create a study guide, and then study for the Form B test. And your achievement will be much higher each time.